I love computer. It's made my job so much easier.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another customer success story. Here we are with Courtney Baldwin from Fame. Hello, Courtney. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good, good.
Courtney, so we recently released Computer, right? And the surface is out. A lot of customers are using it. We're getting a lot of feedback. What are your first thoughts on Computer?
I love computer. It's made my job so much easier, especially so we're in the financial aid sector. So when we're going in and getting calls from clients, getting chats or emails, it makes it easier for us to answer questions or get feedback faster because we're able to give clients a quicker response. And so it allows them to get their jobs done or opens that line of communication much faster.
That's amazing. And do you have some? I think you've had Computer for some while with you, and I think
Mhm.
you have developed some really good strategies and some really good prompts. Would
Mhm.
you like to share them with us?
And tell you my secrets. So the first thing that I like to think about is who I'm actually talking to. Who is my audience, and am I trying to get them to do something, or are they wanting me to do something? And that kind of helps me to craft out my prompt, and it fits for better results because I'm asking exactly what I need in terms of context or even solving the problem. It does that for us too. So it's more along the lines of what is it that I need for the particular ticket that I'm working or for the particular client that I'm assisting, and then I can figure out from there what I would need to do with computer.
Wow, it's amazing, amazing. And are these prompts like, have you just created them for different kind of use cases? Can you just share a bit more about that?
Sure. So I actually have a little note for myself where I keep the different prompts that I use. And there are some that I use frequently, and there are others that allow me to just create structure, and then I'll go from there to that particular ticket or use the prompt to get the results that I'm looking for. But it's all in making sure that the information that I'm putting in is specific, so I'll get that specific outcome that I'm looking for, or at least it starts what I'm needing to find, and then I can fine tune the prompts from there. And so this is kind of what I start with. I want to know, and sometimes I don't need to say my role. Devref has actually, which I love, made it easier for computer to tell what our roles are, so it kind of knows that I'm on the triage team. It knows what my job description is and kind of what I do in my day to day. So I don't necessarily need the role, but the context of the prompt is important. What do I need? What am I asking it to do? Am I looking for data, or am I just wanting to find out a time frame? And then what is my desired output? Do I want it to solve the problem for me, give me the steps so that I can give it to the client, or am I just getting more information? And then in
Wow,
terms of the constraint, what time frame? How important is this? Sometimes I'm on the phone, so I'll tell computer, make it quick. I'm on the phone, and it'll give me a short prompt or a short response to whatever I need. And if I need to fine tune it from there, then I can work through.
that's amazing. And I see here that you have a little cookbook of yours maintained very nicely. And
Yes.
I'm assuming that you're sharing this with everyone in your organization,
Mhm.
maybe like some hacks that they can quickly use to get really good information out.
Yes. Yes, because you never know what prompts you would need. So that's why we're on the phone also. So more than likely, what I'd be looking for a majority of the time is how often our clients calling and leaving voicemails, because that lets me know we're missing something, or what are our peak hours, because the more voicemails that we have, that lets me know when the calls actually peak and when we would need to make sure we have more people available. Definitely, this saves the day, especially if you're new to creating prompts or you're new to computer. It helps you to figure out how to communicate with it and what it's looking for to better assist you.
That's amazing. Connie, do you want to walk through some of your prompts and let folks know like how is it like reducing your time and then allowing you to focus your time on what's really needed?
Sure. So, for instance, one of the prompts that I favor would be the one that's right here at the bottom. So, I would either figure out what the client is asking for. So, for this particular case, I'd go in with context saying client is from whichever school location that we use. We are looking for applications from a particular date, or for instance, for financial aid, 24, 25 award year, just being as specific as I can in that particular case. And then saying, all right, we want this amount of ICERs, or we're looking for this amount of cases from Wednesday of last week to Saturday. What data can you find pertaining to these parameters? And it would feed me back all the information that I need, and I keep track of those things. I'll go in and look, or I just learned at the new workshop how to create agents. So now I'm working on that to see if I can free up more of my time by allowing computer to do its job and assist me as a co-pilot to my day.
That is amazing. That is really amazing. I mean, the kind of context that you're providing to computer itself, I think that's making sure that computer is giving you the right set of output. Sometimes it's really important for a prompt engineer to understand what it actually needs out of the system and like what kind of data computer has to scour over. And I think you're
Mhm,
giving enough context about what to scour over, the time limit of like when. And then the last
mhm,
thing is that you also specify what kind of tone you want or what kind of output you want out of it, and that's making the responses from computer more tailored towards your work. uh,
mhm,
and something that you mentioned is that it does not have to like you do not have to like remind computer again and again who you are, and
mhm,
that's really important when versus like when we are using Claude or ChatGPT, we have to give more context about who we are, what our role is in this
Mhm.
organization. And when a tool is able to understand me as a person and what are my top 3 or 5 priorities, I think it makes getting answers and getting more contextual answers out really well. And I think that's really great. I think
I would share this with them actually to give them a space to start. It's very helpful. Even if you're just going in and you're trying to understand what you need to say, it gives you different spaces.
if you use these 3 things correctly, you would get
Mhm.
your answers in a perfect manner.
Okay. My first one definitely would be to understand your audience, know who you're talking to, because that level of specificity will connect with computer because now it knows who you're talking to. Secondly, one prompt I like is to analyze the source. So wherever data, whatever platform you're pulling that from, so analyze blank and then identify, and then you provide the distinct source that you're the source, and then identify exactly what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a particular client, if you're looking for a particular call, or anything in terms of client segment, and then you want to base it off of a specific criteria. So then what are you looking for? So it allows a computer to solidify exactly what you need, exactly what it needs to do, and then it'll give you the feedback that you're looking for. And so kind of if you're using Jira, analyze Jira to identify problem areas based on ISO issues prominent to last week, but you want to make sure you're filling in all of the blanks. So then it'll know what it's looking for, and that's less fine tuning for you also.
That's really great. That's really great.
Another one that I like, I'm sorry, reading my notes here. Another one that I have is in terms of data. So if you're sourcing it from a particular place or you're wanting to find data from a couple of months, computer can go in and analyze data from Zendesk starting March 1st until today with a focus on and whichever particular focus you're looking for. So with a focus on client escalation issues or tickets or software, anything that you're looking for, you just have to specify. And I feel like computer is the perfect place to go in and kind of test out prompts also. Sometimes you don't know what you're looking for until you find the right words. So it
Yeah.
gives you a chance to play with it and introduce yourself as well as get comfortable with it.
Wow, that's amazing. And that so you rightly mentioned 2 topics about Zendesk and Jira.
Mhm,
The best thing that I love about computer and per se DevRev is that you can connect to any app that you want. And
mhm,
if the app integration is not available, we have a Snap-ins platform where you can just quickly create your Snap-in for that
mhm.
particular application and then get that data in DevRev and then start talking conversationally with that data. I think that's the most powerful thing, which I think computer and DevRev can do. So that's just amazing.
I definitely love that. So right now, ours is connected to not just Jira and Zendesk, but in financial aid, we use handbooks. And our handbooks date back to like 2019, 2020, 1990. So the fact that we were able to pull all of those handbooks in. So when we're working, we're not looking through 4 or 5 different platforms. We can go into Zendesk while we're on the phone and say, hey, search the 1990 to 1920 handbook for me and give me what the updated information was regarding verification, but anything in particular. And it'll go in and cipher through all that information and give exactly what we're looking for. So it can connect whatever you need. And I love also that all the information is secure. That was one of the biggest concerns that I had at first is that I know I'm using all this information, but if I'm inputting information for clients, is it secure? And you guys definitely made sure that it doesn't go anywhere besides our software. And I appreciate that because that is a concern. So, well, it was a concern, no longer now. Yeah.
Totally, totally. I get it. And what I'm hearing right now is that you can actually get into more granular details of the information that you want to have. And that is
Mhm.
something very much important. But coming on to my last question, my last bit is that now that a lot of things that you were doing, computer is helping you do, what are some key areas now you're able to focus upon because computer is doing a lot of heavy lifting of reading these documents, giving it the right context?
Ooh, it's definitely freed up some time. So now I can actually go in and train my counterparts on how to use it or give them the best prompt recommendations or watch how they flow through a computer and kind of give them different tidbits of what could potentially increase their productivity or what they could potentially add to that prompt. I've also jumped on some other projects now that I have a bit more time to myself, but computer is definitely currently right now, computer's my baby here. so, so I work on my journey with DevRev, but I've been practicing going in with agents or creating workflows, just trying to see how I can fine tune other things like our chats and figuring out how we can automate chats using computer. So it's more of now gathering more information to see how I can add in other places.
Wow, that's really amazing, and that's literally the whole idea of computer. How it can co-pilot and coexist with
Mhm.
amazing folks, and how they can leverage the power of AI to get into the haystack of data which is available out there and get the right set of information. So I love the use case, and I love how Fame is using it. Thank you so much, Courtney, for joining us today. And with this, we would also be sharing an amazing prompt guide that Courtney has created. Thank you so much, Courtney, for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No problem. It was my pleasure. I definitely enjoy working with the product, so I have no problem singing the praises. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.